They say balance is all in your head. But what if I told you the problem might actually be in your bones or your nerves or even your gut? Yes, really. And if you're over 60, there's a good chance no one's ever told you this. Let's be honest, falling isn't just a minor inconvenience anymore. It's a game changer. A single stumble can mean a fractured hip, weeks of bed rest, and a slow crawl back to independence, if you get there at all. That's why this isn't just about walking steady. It's about protecting your freedom, your dignity, and your ability to live on your own terms. In this video, we're going to dive into the world of supplements, but not the overpriced, overhyped stuff you see in late-night commercials. I'm talking about real science-backed nutrients that have been shown to strengthen your bones, sharpen your balance, and help you stay on your feet and in control. We'll talk about which ones help your nerves fire faster, which ones keep your muscles responsive, and which ones help prevent those dangerous dizzy spells that seem to come out of nowhere. Ready? Let's get into it. So, let's start with one that's more powerful than most people give it credit for, vitamin D. Here's the deal. As you age, your body doesn't absorb vitamin D as efficiently, especially if you're not spending much time in the sun, which, let's be real, most of us aren't. But this isn't just about avoiding brittle bones or boosting your immune system. A lack of vitamin D can mess with your muscle strength, your balance, and even your reflexes. Think about the last time you misstepped or felt a little off-center. That might not have been just getting older. It could have been your muscles not responding fast enough to stabilize you. Vitamin D helps your body maintain fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that help you catch yourself before you fall. And even better, when combined with calcium, it makes your bones stronger and more resilient if you do end up taking a tumble. Now, here's the kicker. Many older adults are deficient and don't even know it. That's because symptoms like muscle weakness, fatigue, or feeling wobbly can be subtle or brushed off as just aging. But supplementing with 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D daily, especially in the D3 form, can make a noticeable difference in just a few weeks. Of course, always talk to your doctor first, especially if you're taking medications or have kidney issues. Now let's shift gears to something you probably heard about but might not fully understand. Magnesium. This one's often overlooked, but it's absolutely essential for balance and coordination. Why? Because magnesium helps your muscles relax after they contract. And no, we're not talking about relax like putting your feet up. We're talking about the way your muscles physically release after each step or movement. If your body's low on magnesium, your muscles can become stiff, sluggish, or even spasm, and that throws off your entire rhythm when you're walking. Ever feel like your legs just don't want to cooperate the way they used to? Or that you're hesitating more when stepping off a curb or turning too quickly? That could be magnesium working against you, or rather, the lack of it. Magnesium also plays a role in nerve transmission. That means it helps your brain send signals down to your feet and legs fast enough for them to react. So if there's a sudden shift in weight or an uneven surface underfoot, magnesium helps your body adjust and stay upright without even thinking about it. Here's a practical tip. Aim for 320 to 420 milligrams per day from a supplement if your diet's not rich in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. Look for magnesium glycinate or citrate. Those are easier on the stomach and better absorbed than the cheap oxide form. Now, before we move on, let me say this. No supplement works in a vacuum. These aren't miracle pills. They're tools. Tools that work best when you're also eating well, moving your body, and paying attention to how you feel. But when your body's lacking certain nutrients, even doing everything right can still feel like a struggle. And that's where the right supplements can change everything. So we've talked about your bones and your muscles. Now let's talk about your inner GPS, the system that tells you which way is up, where your feet are landing, and how to keep your head from spinning. That's your vestibular system, and it's closely tied to something that might surprise you, vitamin B12. This one is especially important for folks over 60 because as we age, our ability to absorb B12 from food drops dramatically, sometimes by more than half. And when you're low on B12, you might notice tingling in your feet, numbness, or just that weird sense that your legs are off, like they're not quite syncing with your brain. What's happening there is subtle nerve damage, and if it goes on too long, it can become permanent. That's why B12 is one of the most critical supplements for maintaining proprioception, your brain's awareness of where your body is in space. Some seniors with B12 deficiency even experience what doctors call ataxia, which basically means trouble with coordination and balance. It can sneak up slowly. One day you're walking fine, the next you're reaching for handrails and feeling unsure on stairs. But here's the good news. B12 supplementation is safe, inexpensive, and incredibly effective when caught early. Whether you go with a sublingual, under-the-tongue version, or a weekly injection recommended by your doctor, the key is consistency. For many, just 1,000 micrograms of methylcobalamin a few times a week is enough to turn things around. And here's something else worth noting. If you're taking acid reflux meds or metformin, your risk of B12 deficiency goes up even more. So it's especially important to get your levels checked if you're on those medications. Now that we looked at some of the foundational nutrients, vitamin D, magnesium, and B12, let's keep the momentum going. Because when it comes to staying steady on your feet, there's another major player you don't hear about nearly enough, and that's omega-3 fatty acid. You've probably heard omega-3s are great for your heart, maybe even for brain health. But here's what most people don't realize. They also play a huge role in nerve function and inflammation control, which directly impacts your balance and coordination. Think of omega-3s as the oil that keeps your entire neurological system running smoothly. They help your nerves communicate more efficiently, your joints move more comfortably, and your muscles recover faster. And if you've ever noticed that your legs feel heavy after walking, or that your ankles swell up a bit more than they used to, that low-grade inflammation could be dragging you down, literally. One study even showed that seniors who supplemented with omega-3s had improved reaction time and lower risk of falling. That's not just impressive, it's practical. Because when your nerves can react faster and your muscles are less inflamed, you move more confidently. You don't hesitate. And that second or two of hesitation, that's often the difference between catching yourself and hitting the floor. The best sources of omega-3s are fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. But if fish isn't a regular part of your diet, or if you just don't like the taste, high-quality fish oil supplements can be a great option. Look for one with at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per day. And don't worry, most of the good ones these days come with a burp-free coating that avoids the fishy aftertaste. Next up, let's talk about coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10 for short. This one doesn't get enough credit, especially when it comes to energy, mobility, and balance in older adults. Here's the deal. Your muscles need energy to fire properly and stay strong. And your balance, believe it or not, is hugely dependent on tiny muscles constantly adjusting and supporting your weight, especially around your ankles, knees, and core. But if your cells don't have enough energy, those muscles get sluggish, and that's where CoQ10 comes in. CoQ10 is like the spark plug in your body's energy factory. It helps your cells, particularly in your heart and muscles, produce the energy they need to perform. But as you get older, your natural levels of CoQ10 drop. And if you're on statins for cholesterol, those levels drop even faster. People who are low in CoQ10 often say they just feel slower to move, slower to recover, slower to react. But when they start supplementing, that energy balance can be surprising. Many report improved stamina, better clarity, and even reduced muscle aches, especially during walks or exercise. Typical doses range from 100 to 200 milligrams per day, usually taken with meal for better absorption. If you've been feeling a little more drained lately, or like your legs just can't keep up, this one might be worth a conversation with your doctor. Now, let's get a little more targeted, because sometimes the issue isn't muscle strength or energy. Sometimes it's the joints, those creaky, unstable knees, or the unpredictable stiffness in your hips and ankles. And when joints don't cooperate, they throw your entire balance off. That's where glucosamine and chondroitin come in. These compounds are natural components of cartilage, the flexible, rubbery tissue that cushions your joints. As we age, that cartilage starts to wear down. It's why you might hear a little more cracking when you bend, or feel stiffness when getting up from a chair. While these supplements won't rebuild lost cartilage, research shows they can help reduce inflammation and slow joint degeneration, especially in the knees. And when your joints move more smoothly and with less pain, your gait, your natural walk becomes more stable. Less limping, less wobbling, and more even steps. It usually takes a few weeks to start feeling the effects, and consistency is key. Most people take around 1,500 milligrams of glucosamine and 1,200 milligrams of chondroitin daily. If you've been struggling with joint stiffness that's throwing off your balance, this combo could be a gentle but powerful ally. Now, let me mention something that's a little outside the box but gaining serious attention. Probiotics. You might be thinking, what do gut bacteria have to do with balance? A lot more than you'd think. Recent studies are finding surprising links between gut health and brain function, especially when it comes to cognitive processing and coordination. See, your gut and brain are in constant communication via what's called the gut-brain axis. If your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria in your digestive tract, is out of balance, it can trigger inflammation and mess with the signals being sent to your brain. That foggy-headed feeling, that unsteadiness when you first get out of bed, it might not be just age. It could be your gut trying to get your attention. Adding a high-quality probiotic to your routine may help rebalance your system, reduce internal inflammation, and support more stable neurological function. Aim for a blend that includes several strains, such as Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, and look for one with at least 10 billion CFUs. Your digestion may improve first, but the clarity and balance, that's the bonus you didn't see coming. And don't worry, you're not trying to become a nutritionist overnight. You don't need to memorize all these terms or stock a pharmacy in your kitchen. This is about awareness. It's about giving your body what it needs to keep up with your goals, not just for today, but for the years ahead. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Falling isn't just about being clumsy. It's about systems inside your body getting a little out of sync. And the right supplements, they help you resync. They give you that steady confidence to reach a little higher, step a little further, and live just a little bolder. Now, you might be thinking, all right, I get it, vitamins and nutrients matter, but is it really possible to feel steadier just by adding a few supplements to my routine? And the answer, honestly, is yes, but only if you choose wisely and stay consistent. You see, most balance problems after 60 don't just come from one thing. They're the result of a handful of small imbalances, tiny cracks in the foundation that add up over time. A little weakness here, a little stiffness there, a slower nerve reaction, a little less muscle energy. No single supplement will magically fix everything overnight. But when you support your muscles, your bones, your nerves, and even your gut, little by little, the cracks start filling in. You stand a little taller. You walk a little faster. You trust your body a little more. And that's what I really want you to take away from this video. Not that you have to overhaul your whole life, but that these small changes, these tiny daily habits, are how you rebuild a stronger, steadier version of yourself. Now, let's keep going, because there's one more supplement that's too important to skip, and that's collagen. You probably heard about collagen in skincare ads, promising fewer wrinkles and younger-looking skin. But collagen isn't just about vanity. It's a structural powerhouse inside your body. It's the most abundant protein you have, and it holds together your skin, your bones, your muscles, your tendons, and your ligaments. Now think about that for a second. Your ligaments and tendons are what stabilize your joints, support your weight, and help your body react when you suddenly shift. When collagen production slows down with age, as it naturally does, your joints can feel looser, your skin becomes less elastic, and your body doesn't absorb impact the way it used to. In other words, without strong collagen support, a little stumble turns into a full-on fall. Supplementing with collagen, especially types I and III, can help rebuild some of that structural integrity. Hydrolyzed collagen, sometimes called collagen peptides, is easier to absorb and can be mixed into your coffee, smoothie, or even just water. Now, don't expect miracles overnight. It takes about 8 to 12 weeks to really notice changes in joint strength and skin elasticity. But if you stick with it, many people notice their knees feel less wobbly, their grip gets stronger, and even everyday movements like bending, reaching, and twisting become smoother and more natural. Adding vitamin C alongside your collagen can also boost the benefits, because vitamin C is essential for collagen synthesis inside your body. A small glass of orange juice with your supplement or a simple vitamin C tablet can make a big difference. Now, while we're strengthening the inside, let's talk about one last layer of protection: electrolytes. Most people think of electrolytes only when they're sweating buckets on a hot summer day. But even mild dehydration can seriously throw off your balance. Here's why. Electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and calcium control your body's water balance and help maintain blood pressure. When you're even a little dehydrated, your blood pressure can dip when you stand up. That's called orthostatic hypotension. and it's one of the sneakiest causes of falls in older adults. Have you ever stood up too quickly and felt that sudden wave of dizziness or blurred vision? That's your body's way of saying, hey, I'm not ready for this. Staying hydrated is important, yes, but just chugging water isn't always enough. If you don't have enough electrolytes, you're just diluting your system even further. A simple electrolyte supplement, like a low-sugar hydration powder or drink with a balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, can help keep your blood pressure steady and your balance sharp. Just be sure to pick one that's not overloaded with sugar or caffeine. Even sipping a glass mid-morning and one in the afternoon can be enough to make a noticeable difference in how steady you feel when you move throughout your day. Now, if all this sounds like a lot, vitamin D, magnesium, B12, omega-3s, CoQ10, glucosamine, probiotics, collagen, and electrolytes, I get it. It's a lot to take in. And no, you don't need to run out and buy 9 different bottles and start swallowing a fistful of pills tomorrow morning. This isn't about doing everything at once. It's about listening to your body. What are you feeling right now? Do your joints ache? Do you feel weak when you stand up? Are you noticing more moments of dizziness or feeling unsure on uneven ground? Start with what your body is telling you. If muscle weakness is a problem, focus on magnesium and vitamin D. If dizziness or numbness is creeping in, prioritize B12 and probiotics. If your joints are complaining, collagen and glucosamine could be your best friends. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be proactive. Because here's the real truth about growing older. Your body wants to heal. It wants to thrive. It just needs the right building blocks to do it. And every small step you take today, even just adding one supportive supplement to your daily routine, is a step toward a steadier, stronger, more independent tomorrow. Remember, no matter what the calendar says, your story isn't over. Your next chapter can be full of strength, stability, and adventure. All it takes is a willingness to show up for yourself every single day. You've made it this far, and that tells me something powerful. It tells me you care, not just about staying upright, but about staying in control. You're not here because you're afraid of falling. You're here because you want to keep living life fully, without hesitation, without fear, and without having to second guess every step. And that's why I want to finish this video with something a little deeper than just another supplement. Because balance isn't just a physical thing. It's emotional, it's mental, it's the quiet confidence of knowing your body has your back. But there is one more supplement I want to tell you about, one that ties everything together, and that's L-theanine, a gentle amino acid that works behind the scenes. It's not for your bones, not your joints, not your muscles. It's for your mind. Here's the truth. Many balance problems start with anxiety. That little voice in your head that whispers, be careful. Every time you step off a curb, the nervousness that builds in your chest when you walk on uneven ground or navigate crowded spaces. That's real, and it's not weakness. It's your brain trying to protect you. But when your nerves are constantly on high alert, your body stiffens, your gait changes, and ironically, you become more likely to fall. L-theanine, found naturally in green tea, has been shown to promote calm focus without sedation. It helps you feel relaxed, alert, and less reactive. And when your mind is calm, your body moves with more ease. You trust yourself. You flow instead of flinch. Most people take about 100 to 200 milligrams per day, often in capsule or powder form. You can also sip a high-quality matcha green tea for a gentle dose. Think of it as a final piece of the puzzle, something to bring your body and mind into alignment. Because true balance doesn't just come from strong legs or fast reflexes. It comes from knowing deep down that you're safe and capable. So let's bring this all together. You now know that vitamin D strengthens bones and improves muscle response. That magnesium keeps your muscles and nerves firing smoothly. That B12 protects your nerves and proprioception. That omega-3s support brain-to-muscle communication. That CoQ10 powers your body's energy engine. That glucosamine and collagen help your joints move without pain. That probiotics improve gut-brain connection. That electrolytes prevent those dizzy spells and hydration dips. And that L-theanine can calm your mind so your body moves with more freedom. No, you don't need all of them. But having the right combination, tailored to your needs, is like turning the lights back on in a room that's slowly dimmed over time. Imagine walking into your kitchen without holding the counter, stepping out into the garden without feeling unsure, reaching for a book on the top shelf and not second-guessing your balance. That's not a fantasy. That's your body, finally supported in all the right places. And the beautiful part? It's never too late to start. Some people might say, well, I've made it to 70 or 80 without supplements. I'm doing just fine. But we don't aim for just fine around here. We aim for thriving, for confidence, for ease, for freedom. You deserve to move through your day without fear of falling. You deserve to walk through your home without thinking about it. You deserve to feel like yourself, not fragile, not unstable, but strong, steady, and capable. And if just one supplement can help you get there, isn't that worth it? Now, if you found this video helpful, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's been your biggest struggle with balance lately? Or maybe you've tried one of these supplements and noticed a difference. Share your experience. This channel isn't just about advice. It's about community. It's about showing up for each other, learning together, and finding strength in the stories we share. If you haven't already, hit that like button. It helps more people like you find this information. And be sure to subscribe if you want more simple, science-backed, and senior-focused health tips like this one. Because every week, we're digging into ways you can feel better, move better, and live better without the fluff, without the hype, just the good stuff that works. I'll leave you with this. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be prepared. And today, you've taken a powerful step toward that. Here's to a life of strength, confidence, and balance at every age. Take care of yourself. And as always, keep moving forward.